Chapter 6, Quadratic Equations and Functions. Solving Quadratic Equations. Chapter Section 6.4, Solving Quadratic Equations Using the Quadratic Formula. We can solve any quadratic equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Most important part is that it all equals 0, always. And if it doesn't, you make it so. You're going to use the quadratic formula and you're going to substitute. This is the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Notice a, b, and c. A, b, and c. So when you get to your equation and it equals 0, you have this formula and you're going to substitute in the a, b, and the c. Work the problem and make sure that you're going to simplify your answer. Let's go. Here is the formula. Now, you're going to solve using quadratic formula. We have 3x squared minus 8x plus 4 equals 0. It equals 0, so we're good. We're a go. This is a is 3, b is negative 8, c is 4. So you're going to come over and you're going to write what a, b, and c are. Now all you have to do is substitute this a, b, and c in here, and that will be your answer. So let's work the problem. We have a negative right here, so we write the negative. And then we write what b is. B happens to be negative 8, so we're going to write negative 8. Plus or minus. Now b is negative 8, so it's going to be squared, so we write the negative 8. We show we're going to square it. Minus the 4 and the a and the c. And then 2a, 2 times a. This step here, besides making sure that this is 0, this step is important because once you fill all this a, b, and c in and substitute it, all it is arithmetic. So this, don't do in your head. Write it out just the way we have here. Now, negative of a negative is a positive 8, plus or minus. And when it come over here, and we always work what's inside the radical. So we have negative 8 squared is 64. A negative 4 times 3 times 4 is going to give us a negative 48. And 2 times 3 is 6. Finish what's underneath the radical symbol. So we have 8 plus or minus the square root of 16 over 6. Now we know the square root of 16 is 4. So we're going to write 8 plus or minus 4 over 6. Now, we want to solve for x still, so is it x 8 plus 4, 8 minus 4? Let's do both. 8 plus 4 over 6. And this is 8 minus 4 over 6. So this is 12 over 6, which is 2. 8 minus 4 is 4 over 6, which is 2/3. And that's your answer. Going on, we have the formula. We come over here. 2x squared plus 8x equals negative 7. This is not 0. It has to equal 0. So to make this 0, we have to add the 7 back. So add 7 to both sides. And now you have the new quadratic equation equals 0. A is 2, B is 8, C is 7. Write it down here and work this. And you're going to fill it in. Just pure substitution. And then we're going to work what's under the radical. So what do you get? Negative 8 plus or minus 8 squared is 64. All right, keep the sign with the numbers. So it's negative 4 times 2 times 7 is negative 56 over 2 times 2 is 4. 64 minus 56 gives you the square root of 8. And we know the square root of 8 is 4 times 2. So we're going to write it as such. Positive and negative square root of 4 times 2. We can remove the 4 because the square root of that is a 2 and bring it out. So we get negative 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 2 over 4. Now some of you may think that this is the answer, but we can go ahead and simplify more. You can reduce all the numbers outside of the radical. They're all even. They're all divisible by 2. So in the top, we're going to factor out the 2. So that actually is a negative 4 plus or minus square root of 2 over 4. Now this 2 and this 4 are going to cancel. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 4 is 2. So the answer is negative 4 plus or minus square root of 2 over 2. Going on, we're going to do some word problems now. This word problem actually is in section 6.1. Sophia found out that she will not be able to sell her used intermediate algebra book because the campus is going to use a new edition to the following semester. Frustrated, she threw the book up in the air. The function that models this scenario is given by h of t equals negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 48, where h of t, this whole thing, is the height of the book above the ground. And she threw it up, it's the height. And t is the time in seconds. T, time in seconds. When will the book hit the ground? Okay, so pretty much, just to go over, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at over here. Let's see if we can get this right. Pick a color. All right. Here's the ground. Sophia is standing right here. She throws the book up in the air, and then it comes on down. All right? So, this is the height. This is the height. And this is how long in time it takes her, right? X and Y, parabola. Okay, so now think about this. We usually write what's given, and then we go ahead, excuse me, and then we go ahead and decide what the variable should be that we're looking for. All right, so what's given? We're given this equation, okay, and it says ht is the height, so we're given that that's the height, and t is the time. So let's write that down. ht is the height, t is the time. The question is what variable we're looking for. When will the book hit the ground? All right, so solving for when will the book hit the ground. Now that's t, because it says when. It doesn't say how high or low. When will the book hit the ground? So we're solving for t, the time. Now think about this. You're throwing the book up off the ground. So maybe it's 5 feet, 10 feet, then it comes down again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How high is the book when it hits the ground? Think of that. It is 0. It is on the ground. If it was 1 feet high, it wouldn't be touching the ground. It is 0. When the book hits the ground, the height is 0. ht is the height, 0. ht here is 0. So, ht, this is the equation they're giving us. ht, the height, is 0 when it's on the ground. So all we have to do now is solve for t, the time. Go ahead and factor. You can take out the common factor of negative 16. Then you have t squared minus 2t minus 3. You're going to factor that. And remember, we set every single factor equal to 0 to solve. Negative 16 equals 0. Well, that's not true. That can't be. Right away, you can cross that out. That's a false statement. So we have t minus 3 equals 0, and we have t plus 1 equals 0. Here we solve for t, add 3. We got t equals 3 seconds. Over here we solve for t. We have t equals -1. Now time is not negative. We all like to go back a bit, I bet, but time is not negative. So therefore you discard this. So the answer is t, time, 3. It takes Sophia 3 seconds to throw that book up and have it come back and land on the ground. All right, last word problem. We're solving using quadratic formula. The product of two consecutive positive even integers is 168. So somewhere here you know you're going to write an equation because is means equal and 168. Find the two integers. All right, so we're going to look for two integers. Let's just find the first one. Product of two consecutive positive. Two consecutive means one right after the other, and they have to be positive, even integers. So when we think of anything like these numbers, let's say we start with number 2, just to get an idea what we're talking about. Two consecutive positive, even. Well, how do I get to the next even number? Next even number would be 4. How did I get there? Well, I added 2. How did I get to the next one from 4? Well, that's 6, right? And what did I do? I added 2. And if I started at 6 even, and I wanted to get to the next one, 8, I'd add 2. So if we say we have 1, let me get this back. Okay. First positive even integer is x. I have no idea whether it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe it'll be 22, but it's an even positive integer. How would I show the next integer? Add 2. X plus 2 would be the very next one. So no matter what I start with is even. If I add 2, I'll get the next even. So those will be my two integers. And when I get the product of them, product means multiply them, it will equal 168. So I'm going to multiply the x times the x plus 2, and it equals 168. And that is my equation to work this problem. Okay, we're going to work it. We have x times x plus 2 equals 168. That's going to give us x squared plus 2x equals 168. Quadratic equation. Very nice, but it doesn't equal 0. It has to equal 0. So we have to bring that 168 to the other side. So it's minus 168 is 0. And we said we wanted to use the formula. So we're looking at A is 1, B is 2, C is negative 168. And then you're going to just put that in and substitute it. And then you're going to work the problem underneath the radical symbol. And 4 plus 672 is 676. And you're going to say to yourself, that doesn't look really familiar to me. You go to your calculator and try it. Maybe it's a perfect square. And luck be have it, 26 times 26 gives you 676. So now you're going to have negative 2 plus or minus the 26. You got to break that up into two equations. X equals negative 6 plus 26 over 2. And x equals negative 2 minus 26 over 2. And work the problem. This is 24 over 2, which is 12. And this is negative 28 over 2, which is negative 14. Now the one thing we said here was we wanted two positive even integers. Well, this is not positive, so you can just cancel that guy out. Not positive. Therefore, what's left is x equals 12. Well, that's our first integer. How do we get the next even positive integer? And we said it was x plus 2. So we have x equals 12, and x plus 2 equals 14. And the answers are 12 and 14. Oh, we have a logic problem. How did that crop up? Here we go. Fun logic problem. Guess the next three letters in the series. G, T, N, T, L. What would be the next three letters? Well, if you don't know, we're going to press a key or mouse, and I'm going to give you a hint over here. And the hint is, look closely at every word in the sentence. And the answer is ITS, because the complete sequence is the first letter of every word in the sentence. G, T, N, T, L. What's left? ITS. ITS. And there you go. And that is the end of this